Still on my subject of stress and struggle in keeping with the times this week. And I thought it'd be interesting to share a very different energy medicine perspective, because we all know that we suffer from stress, but many of us wouldn't know what that looks like. And nor would we consider that it's important to understand our patterns, our response to stress. And actually, there are three main ways. We've all heard of fight, or flight, running away, or freeze, where you literally are rigid. So those are the three common ways that you respond to your stressful triggers. Those are the patterns that you build up over time through your childhood and you carry on into your adult life. But what do those different patterns look like from an energy perspective? And why is that important to know in terms of the way that you can handle your stress and actually start to shift the way that your pattern that you follow, reprogram your response to much more quickly fall back into a place of balance and harmony, so that you're back in touch with your wisdom and you can handle the situation so much more effectively. So I've spent many posts and recordings talking about the fight or flight response. This one is going to be slightly different. So in my post, I've described the hedgehog, or the whirlpool, or the plug hole, or the pinball machine. So let me start with the first one. So if you're the sort of person who, when you get stressed out, when things feel too much and your body is telling you I'm not safe, your default pattern is to get angry, either with yourself or with other people. Now that anger looks like a hedgehog or a porcupine. Literally your energy rises upwards. That's quite often why you get a red face, because your energy is rising up into the head space, into your neck, your throat and your head, but it's prickly. So your energy is out there, it's not shrunken into you. So energy of anger is quite high, but it's all one way. It's all frantic and it's all prickly. So like the hedgehog, it's protecting you. It's saying, I'm not safe. I'm putting these prickles out there and you better beware. So of course, that's why when you're in an angry place and your energy is out this doing its prickly vibe, you're communicating with other people, but you're not taking anything back in. The energy is all outwards. It's all explosive. So it's threatening to other people and you can't hear what other people are saying. So the communication is kind of one-sided. You're connecting, but in a very assertive, very confrontational way. And that's high energy, explosive energy. It looks like a hedgehog. That's number one, the fight mechanism. Number two, the flight, running away. That's where your energy is more like, if you've ever seen, I'm sure you all have, you've all had a bath. So when you let the water out and you see the plug hole and you see that vortex of energy, it's like that. And you're the plug hole, you're pulling energy inwards in that kind of whirlpool plug hole spiral. So you're condensing your energy in. Quite often the energy is kind of retracting tight and you'll feel it tight across your chest. It feels like fear, and that's because it is. You're fearful, you want to run away. And that tight energy is wonderful because it's protecting you. It's keeping any negative vibes, any negative energy out. But it's also a kind of a closed circuit. So you're not putting energy to other people. You're not connecting with other people. So it's difficult to properly assess the situation. And also your energy is kind of pulling inwards. It's taking away from your mental faculties. You'll struggle to figure out what the solution is, how to get out of it, because you're just in a fearful place. Your energy is all swirling inwards. You'll feel discombobulated. You'll feel a tightness and you'll struggle to know what to do, apart from just keep panicking, running, the headless chicken scenario. So your energy in the flight approach or response to stress is the whirlpool or the plug hole. Then the third energy pattern hope you're following me here, is the freeze. I mean, that's much later. In psychology, it was always fight or flight when I was being educated. We've had the third option of freeze, and I'm so glad we have, because actually the freeze option is the majority. 60% plus responses to responses to stress, irrespective of your age, your gender, your upbringing, is all in the freeze response. So that's where your energy is a bit like a pinball machine. Your energy is literally, it's shrunken in, it's rigid, so much so that your energy patterns are not flowing. So energy needs to flow, it needs to expand. That's when you're in your fullness, in a happy, relaxed, positive state. So when it's shrinking in and it's frozen and rigid, it's very difficult to get out of that pattern. And the pinball aspect of it is that you've got lots of energy, and it's like, you know, when you pull back the lever and it hits that metal marble and it's going around, jing jang, jing jang, jing jang. It's like hitting into pins, and it's just like, it's that kind of, oh my God, what do I do? Because your energy is just firing all over the place, chaotic, out of control. But that's the freeze. So you don't know what to do, literally, because you've got so much panic energy. So this is the panic response, the panic anxiety. And that energy is trying to find a way out. It's trying to find a connection. But because your energy systems are frozen, it's literally pinging all over the place. So I describe it as the pinball. So each of those stress responses are the kind of common way that each of us will fall into a pattern. So I don't know whether you've recognized which one you are, whether you're the angry response, the hedgehog, the prickly, whether your energy is sucked inwards like the plug hole and you're running away, or whether you're kind of like frozen, rigid, with a lot of chaotic energy bouncing around, whether you're like the pinball. Well, those stress responses are important to be conscious of. So if you're going to do anything today, we have stress pretty much, you know, it's not like we're stepping in and out of it. The 21st century is toxic. Our lifestyles encourage us to be in a stress place for the majority of the time. So just be conscious. Focus on your own stress response, because in the coming sessions, some this week, some next week, I'll describe an energy medicine routine that will flip you out of that anger, that fight mode, relax you from that, the whirlpool, the plug hole, from your running away mode, or indeed bring you back into balance when you're frozen and rigid in that freeze mode. So I hope you found that interesting, and watch out for more. Cheers, guys.